in welcoming one such leader, the head girl of the school, Miss Sneha Rasheed, to deliver her speech. A vibrant leader, a passionate athlete who motivates those around her to dream big and achieve excellence. Miss Sneha Rasheed.
Started from the basics in KG, soon to survive in India with the 2G. From blaming CBSE to realizing that it's just us. From the time we thought global warming was a threat to our lives, and then came high school. Chief guest, His Excellency, Ambassador of India, Shri Ahmed Javed. Guest of honor, His Excellency, Consul General of India, Shri Mohammad Noor Rahman Sheikh. Esteemed guest, Deputy Consul General, Consul Hajj and School Observer, Shri Mohammad Shahid Alam. Chairman of the Managing Committee, Shri Asif Ramiz Dawoodi. Honorable members of the Managing Committee, special invitees, Honorable Principal Mr. Syed Masood Ahmed, other school officials, respected teachers, parents, and the graduating class of 2018, a very warm evening to one and all. I am truly honored to be standing here in front of you today, and I thank the Almighty Allah for giving me this opportunity. There are people who stood by us through everything that we went through notorious childhood days, through moody teenage days, through sunshine and darkness alike. It will be the people because of whom we are who we are. And these people are, of course, our family. This is to you, Mom and Dad, and all the parents out here who started dreaming of this day much earlier than we did. I am not here to thank you, because no matter how much we thank you, it's never going to be enough. You always made sure to give us the best and brought us till here, to the graduates that you see today. And I know that whatever good I do in life is not because of something that comes out of me. It's because of your prayers and your blessings. Great leaders don't tell you what to do. They show you how it's done. This is to the man who leads the IISJ family forward. Masood sir, we thank you for being the guiding light for all of us. As growing up girls in Saudi Arabia, we have been restricted to a freedom of a few things. But then, we've never felt it as far as it goes with the things that the school can provide us. And if there are two people in this room, two women in this room who have fought for us, protected us, cared for us, and empowered us like any mother would for her daughter, it's Farah Ma'am and Rita Ma'am. Farah Ma'am, you have taught us that leaders don't make excuses. They admit when they go wrong, they right their wrongs and get better by the day. Rita Ma'am, if there's anyone here who should be tired of seeing the cabinet members' faces every day, it's you. But I really hope you aren't. Thank you for being so patient with us. We couldn't have asked for a better action. Real heroes don't wear capes. Our kind of heroes wear white coats. Their knowledge being their weapon and their patience their superpower. Whatever we do and no matter where we go, if there's one profession that has gained our ultimate respect, that is teaching. How would our lives be without hearing every day, "This is the worst batch I've seen in my entire life"? Let us face the fact that it takes strength, emotional and even verbal, to control students like us who scream at the top of their voices or sometimes sleep at the back of the class. And being from the craziest and also the best class, I know that it takes courage. Courage to come back the next day and face the same set of people who are exactly as energetic as they were the previous day. We know that you've given us nothing but your best, and we hope that we are able to return the same to you. Teachers, we will make you proud. Being in we had a first time for everything. There was the first field trip to the ever so famous zoo, the first time we got up on stage, the first youth festival, the first test we failed in, the first class we bunked, the second class we bunked, the third class we bunked. Well, knowingly or unknowingly, we did it all for the very last time this year. In first grade, we were taught how to wish our teachers. It's surprising it didn't change one bit in 12 years. We still have an Oprah session when the teacher enters the class. And mind you, it's a serious offense if it's not together. Fifth grade was pretty exciting. We could finally start writing with pens. And if you made a mistake, you didn't need an eraser. You could paint over it with an invention called a whitener. Wow. Our notebooks looked like an Iranian war zone. In 6th grade, I remember being genuinely confused about why Bahaley and Rujo could not stop asking questions. I mean, the teacher would excitedly go like, okay, so Bujo has a question, and we go, no, not again. 8th grade was fun in a lot of ways. For starters, we had funny hairstyles. I could hide every single mobile my family owned inside my so-called puff, and no one would have had a doubt. It was also the period of super embarrassing Facebook statuses. Sneha Rasheed is feeling happy. Today's lunch break was awesome. Awesome spelled A-W-S-U-M. You use a Z if you're cooler. Let's not talk about that ever again. Coming to 9th grade, how many of you remember your SA1 marks? Yeah, neither do I. So let's fast forward to 10th grade. 10th grade was one of the most memorable years. I remember how competitive we used to be during youth festivals, and the bond we shared as a class, and most importantly, our serious preparations for board exams. Remember considering ourselves geniuses after 10th boards? Soon after, 11th grade happened. Talking about these last 2 years, it has been like a roller coaster ride. It was hectic and memorable at the same time. But even when times were rough and dark circles defined us, we found time to tag each other in memes saying, "So us." Let us talk about the countless number of times we deactivated Instagram, telling ourselves we are not getting back in there until after boards. Who are we trying to fool? Now, if you have an experience in these 2 years, the utmost satisfaction of just passing, I pity you. Now, let's talk about that group of students who, as many teachers say, have the legal ticket to bunk. And if they do get caught, you know what they say, "Ma'am, cabinet work." So this is to my cabinet team, my dog bros. Okay, so before I start, let me tell you, being a cabinet member is not as easy as I explained in the previous lines. Being in the cabinet, you learn how to be resilient. You make mistakes, tons of them in fact, but no mistake is forgotten. We first learn from it and then laugh at it. You learn how to smile at criticism and smile broader at failures. More importantly, despite the usual hectic schedule, we learn how to put in everything that we wish to achieve. And I can happily say that my team, be it Fahima with her jokes, or Shana getting the same jokes 2 days later, Ramsha with her never-dimming positivity, or Uttara, who would break a leg for us, or quite literally, a hand. Be it Noble with her best singer title, and Aishwarya, it's obvious, you are the pun master. And Asma, as cheesy as this may sound, I wouldn't be doing this without you. All jokes apart, each of you have taught me so much. And there was never a you or me in our team. It was always us. And together, we have done things which was deemed impossible by many. I remember Rita ma'am asking me what our victory song meant. And it was not a funny question, it was a genuine one indeed. So I thought I'll clear it out today, as I'm sure a lot of you have the same doubt. My friends, Tararirirurura does not have a meaning. It's not an anthem or a theme song, it's a feeling. And as barbaric as it may sound, I think it perfectly describes a happy moment. It makes no sense, and that's why we say the most precious moments in life cannot be explained by meaningful words. Being a part of the athletic team has always felt like being at home. A very noisy home indeed. A home where you have siblings of different age groups, coming from different places, but with a common aim in mind. Since the first time we were welcomed into the team, never have I or my teammates felt like we don't belong there. And I'm sure that it has been the same way to all the new faces coming up every year. That is the sort of bond we share. And I can proudly say that this is something I've seen only in the IISJ team. Talking about the team, if there's any reason why the school is proud of the team today, it's because of those people who did not let us rest without completing those 2 labs, who scolded us more than our mothers for skipping breakfast. And most importantly, it's because of them we learned how to get back up every time we fell. This is to all our sports teachers. You have inspired us all to aim higher and never settle for anything but the best. And will forever be grateful for you for that. Thank you. Let me tell you all about an incident that happened a few years ago. It was my second year of representing the school at the cluster level. My team and I were there for the 400 meters relay. And as you all know, the most important aspect of a relay is the baton exchange. And guess what happened? We dropped the baton. After all those days of practice, after all the constant chanting in our ears, be careful about the baton, we dropped it. We were 12-year-old kids, we were crushed, we started crying. But what followed the incident is something I'll never forget. Obviously, there was an initial burst of anger from our teachers, but soon after, our teachers called us and said, "It's okay. So what if you dropped it? It happens every year. You picked it up and ran and tried your best. That's what matters." That year, my teammates and I learned a very important lesson. That no matter how much you work for something, there is an equal chance that it happens either in your favor or against it. And if you accept that, you will get over one of the gravest of fears, that is the fear of losing. At some point of time, we're all going to drop our batons, maybe once, twice, or maybe even thrice. But what matters is that we pick it up and keep running. Keep sprinting, and no matter how slow, just keep going. If I could describe each of you in one word, it would be warrior. And I want you all to remember that word, not only for the rest of your life, not only for the rest of your speech, but for the rest of your life. Being an IISJ, we've had the privilege to study with people who've come from all across India with beliefs, ideas, and perspectives very different from our own. Somewhere between running on all these different tracks, we have learned to carve one track of ours on our own. This road is going to be exciting, intimidating, but most of all, from now onwards, it's going to be rough. You're going to fall, not once, not twice. Life will keep knocking you down over and over again, but you are not going to let your circumstances overrule you, because you are a warrior. When we step out of school, we are going to be part of a journey that millions and millionaires will join. But that is just a number. And if there's anything that this number is teaching you, it's the fact that you are not alone. We're all in this together. And even though some people might look like they have an edge over the others, trust me, we're all equally clueless. Nobody's got it figured out yet. And that is what life teaches us, to figure out our purpose, our identity, and ourselves. And while we're trying to do that, we need to make sure that we give it our best, that we put in more fight today than we did yesterday. We need to do things that are hard, break out of our comfort zones, keep pushing our limits, and keep striving to be the best version of ourselves. While we are at it, we need to realize that our journey to understanding ourselves is the mark that we are leaving on this world. Whether big or small, what matters is that it's ours. And at some point, if you ever feel you're not good enough, remind yourself that you were once part of a batch that not only dreamt big, but made things happen. I am talking to the batch that brought back the overall championship after 7 long years. To the amazing, to the officially amazing batch, to perfect SAT scores and national level finalists, to talented artists, photographers, writers, and much more. This is to each and every one of you. This is to the batch of 2018. We have given enough reasons for the school to remember us, and now it's time for us to give some to the world. Because Warriors, it's your time. Thank you.